Hello, hello, hello. Hooligan Soccer Podcast coming at you, back with a vengeance after the summer break, summer hiatus with myself, Gary Stryker, and a very fired up Qooligan after having just seen that Rio Ngoma wonder strike from a 16-year-old to put another 3 points in the bag for Liverpool, hey?
When we came up with the agenda, I said, let's talk about the top teams first. Not thinking that I would actually have anything really substantive to say about Liverpool. In fact, it was looking rather dire for the league leaders, if you ask my blunt opinion, because they did not look good against Newcastle today.
They did not.
However, they walk away with 3 points off 3 goals. So
Jesus.
That's what champions do. They don't have great days, and they still win games. Although most champions don't do it at the foot of a 16-year-old who I'm not even sure has hit full puberty yet. So, wow. And with such a mature fashion, he struck that like he was a 29-year-old veteran of the Champions League and everything else. I mean, it was an absolutely masterful strike.
Yes.
And with an offensive build that Liverpool hadn't mustered the entire game. They hadn't done anything even close to that. And yet, in the last minute, in the 100th minute of the game,
they found a way.
They
found a way. Yes.
I don't know, G. This is not boding well for other teams. If Liverpool can pull stuff out like this. But I also have to say it's a warning. It's a warning to Liverpool as well. Big time.
The one thing that I will notice. So obviously, welcome back, Qooligan. Good to get the season back underway.
Boy, yeah, we didn't even talk about the fact that this is the first podcast that we've done in nearly 5 weeks, and the first one that is not been devoted either to the Club World Cup or the Euros, the Women's Euros, or so. Yes, welcome back, Gary. I hope you had a very pleasant vacation.
I did. I had a wonderful summer. Yes, it was very good as well. Thank you.
Glad to hear that.
But yeah, wow, what a game. What a game. The one thing I will say, so we'll try and cram in sort of 2 match weeks and summarize it and break it down. But Liverpool got off to a good start. I will say that the two things that do concern me for Liverpool is they do look a little bit soft at the back. They have conceded 4 goals already, 4 goals in 2 games. And for the fact that they've got just an absolute plethora of firepower up front, and the fact that they can just pull on a 16-year-old, and even never mind, they still haven't landed Isak yet, and he's still not there, and still are able to sort of grind it out. So they're going to be. They look very, very. This new Arne Slot team now, because he's really sort of got his fingerprints on it and been able to actually buy players that he's wanted in, or the sort of been able to work with the technical development team and sort of go and recruit and sort of move the pieces around the board. So that would be the first thing, is the defense concerns me. The second thing that I've been goading my Liverpool family members with as well, which is the only thing I really have at the moment, is if you look at it, Arne Slot has changed pretty much that top half of that team, right? He's changed out all those sort of parts, all sort of completely new parts. There's like 5 starting players who are all new. That's nearly half the team that they brought in. The question is can they gel? Can they play as a team? Can they get sort of going off the ground? And that will be, I think, time will tell, but those would be, if I'm being sort of, trying to be as objective and realistic and also sort of trying to sort of keep my feet on the ground here, how much can Liverpool gel as a team, or how good is Slot's management to bring them together? Those would be my natural concerns, but otherwise they look scary going for what they do.
Yes, I listen. I agree with both of those points. They are very weak in the defense, especially Konate was not good today. He was beaten on that. He was beaten on that goal by William Osula. By the way, new signing for Liverpool. Do they need Isak at this point? I mean, he showed the exact type of elan, the same type of pace, the same type of grit that Isak shows when he scores goals. He showed right there. So, I mean, we can talk about the Isak drama all we want. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I think it's It's poor for the game. It's poor for Isak. It's poor for Newcastle. And to be fair, it's not really looking all that great for Liverpool either. I'm not even sure you would want a person like that on your side.
I agree with you. It speaks to the character as well. Just as soon as someone else flashes their eyelids at you, all of a sudden you've dropped them like a hot potato as well. It's not very becoming. I agree. I do agree.
I smell a meme coming up here. We've got Liverpool, Isak, the girl, the guy, the whole thing. I mean, sure, why not?
There is, yeah. But Liverpool do look frightening going forward, and I agree with you. I don't see why they need Isak. They've got a lot of firepower going forward, and it seems like they've got a 16-year-old wonder kid just sitting on their bench, just waiting to come off and do wonderful things like that as well. Hey, it really is.
I mean, we'll wait and see the next FA Cup when he makes his next. He'll start then. I mean, this was his debut. They just put him on. I think they just put him on to say, hey, let's get him on there and see what happens. And he goes and does that. There's a whole bunch of people in the boardroom going, now we can't sell him, or maybe we can sell him for a lot more. I mean,
yeah, Liverpool after a roaring start, as I say, I think, the concerns would just be that defense does look a little bit leaky already. I mean, even if you just look inside, the sort of up in sort of the top 8, they've all conceded, no one else has conceded 4 goals and they already have as well. So they'll address that.
No, it's very true. And then again, at the end of the day, it's who scores more. And right now they're proving that they can do that. So, I mean, sure, unless it comes down to a goal differential scenario, none of this matters.
Yeah, this is fair. They do have a lot of firepower funds.
Yeah.
So
who's next?
Well, I think we've got to talk about City. Hey, I mean, is it City are sort of having that sort of wobble? And again, similar thing to Liverpool, what did they bring in? 4 plus players in the transfer window as well. They've got all of these new players coming in.
But unlike Liverpool, they had a chance to gel them at the Club World Cup, and they looked good in the Club World Cup until they met Al Hilal.
Well,
that's
until
another story.
until your ayahuasca trip as well. But we'll digress from that. I do. Yeah, I do. I like that. Who's the Dutch midfielder? Reinders. He looks fantastic.
Tijani Reinders. Yeah.
Reinders. Oh, he looks good. He looks very, very good.
He's a wonderful player. Yeah.
He is a wonderful player. But the question is, players like Shirky, will he fit into the Premier League quickly and get settled? Marmoush,
I think Shirky's I think Shirky's probably even more of an important signing, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. But then
I think he's fantastic. Yeah.
The other one who still doesn't look like he's settled and he looks electric and he looks good on the ball, but he hasn't really delivered is Marmoush. He looks as though he sort of missed a few sort of sitters and just looks a little bit shaky. I don't know how sort of reliable he is.
Yeah, well, you're right. But then again, Holland hasn't been great. So I think the problem with City is they have 2 designated strikers, right? Like according to their team list, they've got 2 forwards. They've got Holland and Marmoush. Neither one of them is firing on all cylinders. I mean, they're doing fine. Holland already has 2 goals. No, with City, it's just, I can't quite tell if it's a malaise of, is it too much of a good thing? Because they're not doing what City normally does. In some cases, City was a faceless group of exceptional athletes working together as a cohesive machine. Now it just looks like a bunch of really good athletes all trying to do their thing, and it's not quite coming together. You know what I'm saying? And that's a little worrying. And I think it's also a little bit concerning for Pep, because how much control does he have right now? Now, please, it's 2 games in. Fine, right? And I don't want to be like making a klaxon call right now, that City demise or it's going to be a repeat of last year. I think that would be way too premature to be spewing nonsense like that. But there's going to be some questions.
I agree. I do wonder if they're going to have. They seem to have lost that sort of dominance that they had when they were that treble-winning team, and they would, everyone would be fearful of them, and they just completely dominated. And then all of a sudden, again, as we saw last season, wasn't it around the sort of like holiday Christmas period that they sort of went off the boil? Yeah, there will be question marks, and there will be sort of, I'm sure there will be psychological sort of, mindset questions on there. Do they have the mentality to sort of be as dominant again, or can they get back up to that top? And what is interesting, I think, Liverpool certainly do look like the dominant team, just the way they dominated so much last season, and already how they're looking so good going forward. But the other thing as well that I would notice is Thomas Frank's Tottenham. I mean, again, Thomas
You were
Frank
going all the way to the
mindsets.
bottom. You're trying to pull them up. We were supposed to talk about the top 5, and you're putting Tottenham in that rank? How
top
dare
six,
you, sir?
I mean, top
How dare
six,
you, sir?
Top 6. No, but Spurs sitting in second Champions League. They've made some good signings this summer, and again, they have a manager who is a good manager. Look what he's done with Brentford for a long time, and that is a good hire. The question is do they get? Does the Spurs culture? Get over them, and do they wobble again? As you say,
when does Spursiness come back into play? I've been writing about it, and I've been thinking about it, and I do have to say that they are looking good. I'm going to give credit where credit is due, because you can't. There's not really anything that you can badmouth about Tottenham right now. They've come in, they've been ruthless, they're doing the business. They did it away at Burnley. They do it, at home. Against Man City, and that's even in the second game of the season, that is something that's an accomplishment, and I don't think Ange would have been able to do that. And Frank is doing it. Frank is doing a good job, and he made some good signings, and there's been some good people coming in, but I think what you're seeing is a culture shift. It's a different way that they're approaching the match. Richarlison, who can be sometimes surly and a little petty, looked composed, driven, focused, and has, got some wonder goals for it.
Yeah. He's done that sort of, he seems to be a master of those scissor kicks and bicycle kicks as well. He seems to sort of score them at the right time. He does look very good.
Him and Smith Rowe. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, this is the other thing as well, which is, Thomas Frank seems to have been able to give Spurs another gear, right? With Ange, it was Ange ball, and we play a high line and we play our way and we don't deviate from that. Even if we're getting smashed 4-0, we keep playing that way. And he just seems to sort of bring sort of different style and different ability, which is wonderful to see.
Yep. I mean, Kudus, I think, was a great signing for them.
Yeah, he was.
He hasn't quite had that full impact, but watch, he will be a very, very strong addition into that side.
Yeah. I think we've got to, as we're sort of still in North London here, let's go across to North London and say, I mean, Arsenal, I know you're fuming as a Crystal Palace fan with the Eze move, but I mean,
you have no idea. I will keep it civil for the listeners. I will keep it civil.
Look, he was always going to move, I think, because he is that talented. He's very good.
I know that. I know that as much as any other Crystal Palace fan. Anytime we get a bright spark, someone comes along and plucks it from our hands. We are, the league is the Prometheus that steals our fire. Yeah, and yet we are not the almighty Zeus that can go in and punish him by chaining him to a rock. We can't do that. Yeah. So we just sit around and mope for a little bit and then get on with it. And are we going to miss him? Absolutely. Are we going to still do okay without him? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be fine.
You're going to be fine. No, Palace will be fine. I don't think there's any danger of Palace sort of going down. And look, and as you know, I was in the UK and for the first game week, and I took my son to Stamford Bridge to go and see them against Palace. It was a pretty dull 0-0. I know Palace parked the bus, and Chelsea couldn't sort of get their stuff together to sort of go and break them down. But the one thing, Eze did look good. He looked dynamic, and I know it was Eze who had that sort of goal that was disallowed, wasn't it? He had that really wonderful.
Once again, people always finding a way to deny that opening Crystal Palace goal. It seems to be a theme. It's okay. For some obscure rule thing. I don't know, whatever. Yeah. I mean, what bothered me about that call, I'm just going to go off on a tangent. What bothered me about that call wasn't so much that they called it back, but they called it back for him being within 1 meter of the wall. No, that's not why they called it back. They called it back because he did a two-hand shove to push the player out of the way.
He was pushing Caicedo out of the way, and you can't do that. Yeah,
don't give me some obscure thing about him being 1 meter away from the wall BS.
No.
He pushed the guy.
Caicedo pushed him out of the way, cleared a path, and as they smashed
totally
it home.
100% pushed him out of the way.
I was crying with laughter. I had my 8-year-old son. I took him to his first Chelsea game, and we were sitting behind that goal, and we were in the sort of the Matthew Harding lower end, which is the harder core Chelsea, and it's definitely not the family section. So I had to sort of educate my son on a few sort of new swear words that he'd never heard before. And one of the great lines as that goal went in, the whole bottom of the Chelsea fans started screaming, "Go fuck off to Spurs, Sanchez! We really fucking get out of here! Go fuck off to Spurs!" We were laughing. It was very, very funny. But yeah.
And by the way, Tottenham not getting Eze will be their downfall this season.
Yeah. I mean, this whole
Tottenham could use Eze I believe they could use Eze more than Arsenal can. I think the Arsenal will make good use of him, but I think Tottenham getting Eze puts them at a whole nother level of danger.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal getting Eze, it's just another arrow in the quiver, and they're going to make good use of him. But
here's the thing with Arsenal though is, and I was surprised with that Eze news because you look at the business that they've done this summer. They've signed Noni Madueke from Chelsea, which I am ecstatic about. I think it's fantastic as a Chelsea fan. Goodbye, Noni. He's a wonderful, wonderful dribbler, but just makes bad decisions, and maybe Arteta can get the best route off him. They got Kepa, obviously goalkeeper. That's absolutely fine. They got your favorite Swedish striker, the other Swedish striker who hasn't thrown his toys out of the crib, Gyökeres as well, who looks as though he's off and running and scoring, which is good. And then Eze. So you add that on top of Martinelli, on top of Saka, on top of all the other firepower that they have up front. And again, it seemed similar thing to Liverpool. Is like these big teams are just suddenly overloading on attacking power. As I say, look, Eze will make any team better for sure, but did they really need him? I'm curious about that one. Again,
no, I don't think they did. I think that was a knee-jerk reaction. One, they didn't want Tottenham to get him. And two, I mean, as it turns out, with Odegaard now being out and with Saka being injured in the last game, they actually probably do need him. And whether Arteta has some sort of like evil Palantir like vision looking into the eye of Sauron future stuff, or, you know, I couldn't tell you, but I mean, now it looks like a very savvy move. But certainly there's an element of, I don't want my enemy to have that weapon. I'm going to buy that weapon.
That's
type of preemptiveness to that. And they don't seem to be having a problem with spending right now.
Yeah. Wow.
No problem at all.
I mean, do you think maybe it's just a case that Arteta just said, I need to get this team over the line. I'm just going to bulldoze my way and just go and buy as much firepower.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to break it to you, Arsenal fans. You're still coming in second. I mean, I'm calling it right now. This is my big prediction: is that Arsenal will place second in the league again.
I am inclined to agree with you. I do agree with you. We'll stay away from predictions just yet because let's get through.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it right now because it feels good. It feels good to say it.
It feels good. Just to take that. That's
345 million, like out in the transfer window. That's not their spend. That's how much they're in the hole.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? That's Arsenal.
That's Arsenal for you. Yeah. Yikes. While we are in London as well, so that covers Arsenal do.
No, we got to always look good. Come on, we're gonna pump up your boys, pump up your lads. Talk about your Blues.
World champions.
Yeah,
we'll just say that. Yeah,
I know they're wearing the patch and everything. I was hoping that they weren't going to be gauche like that, but no.
Oh no! Oh, they did it.
No, it's gold and it's shiny. We had to put it on the kit.
What is amazing is now it seems as though they proactively choose not to have a shirt sponsor as well. It's almost kind of like that Barcelona team that they had. Do you remember before they sort of they had it, they sort of go there. Yeah. Just like we're not going to have one. We're going to look at unique as well and have one. And the next thing I imagine
no shirt sponsor, but a big gold world champions flag.
Champion sign as well. It's
wonderful
to
see. FIFA's kicking them back some cash.
It's good. Well, they definitely. Yeah, I think it was to the tune of about $180 million for winning the Club World Cup. That's what it was.
No, it wasn't that much, but it was. You can dream, but it wasn't that much. It was more like 110. But that's fine.
Chelsea seem to have heard every single one of my rants every time I'm in front of the screen, which is don't let Madueke on the pitch. Get rid of Jackson and go and find a decent striker. And I'll say,
no, Jackson's not formally gone yet, is he?
He has not been named in the squad for the last 2 home games as well, which is basically
but he's not just a message. But they haven't sold him yet.
He's still there, but he will not be there. I think he will be gone. He will
be a late business. He will be some sort of late business.
He will be a late for here we go. And I suspect, you know what? Here's my prediction. I think Newcastle will pick him up because Newcastle will have to sell Isak, right? I don't think there's any way Isak comes back.
There's no way they can keep him around. No.
And there's not too many other strikers around as well. So they're just going to, unfortunately for Newcastle, they'll probably get 120, 130 million for him, whatever, they're able to gouge out of Liverpool. And then Chelsea will be waiting there and go and take 70, 80 million for Jackson. And again, Chelsea's business model has shown that you can go buy him for 30, sell him for 80 a couple of seasons later. And unfortunately, if Newcastle do that deal or whoever gets Jackson, I fear that, again, you're buying a sprinter, not a striker. He is very fast, very strong. doesn't finish. Frustrating as hell, and it will be a downgrade for Newcastle. That is what will be, unfortunately, will be the case for Newcastle. But on that front,
I'm not going to argue with that. I think your observations are fairly astute there.
Yeah, I think so. But otherwise, as for Chelsea, I would have to say Estevao surprised me in that first game. He looked good when he came on against Crystal Palace, and then against West Ham, he really did.
He looked better against West Ham, but
it gets more
your
comfortable.
grandmother would have gone on the pitch and scored for Chelsea against West Ham. So and that's no offense. And by the way, that's no offense to your grandmother.
No,
I'm sure
no,
a wonderful footballer.
West. No, she was a wonderful number 9 for yes, but I think Estevao looked very good. I still think he's good. Again, there were moments where he was still like going up and jumping for balls against some of those big centre halves, and it just doesn't make sense. That's not where you want him. You want him with that link up play. Him and Delap looked very interesting. Delap looks, it's really a classic number 9 hold up, link up, passing the balls. I like João Pedro's playing in a number 10, not in the number 9. I think Delap's better to lead the line. Estevao looks good. And then Gittins didn't look so hot.
I never understood the Gittins deal, but
I agree. That one's
I get João Pedro 100%. He's already proven his worth in the top 5 best signings of the year on my list. Doesn't look like he's going down. He'll remain there. But yeah, it's sure.
Yeah, no.
I mean, listen, I think Chelsea are in it. They're in it. They're going to compete, and they got a tough schedule coming up. But I think they're going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, I don't think. Look,
they're not going to win the league, though, Gary. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. I agree with you. They're not title contenders. Team's too young as well. However, I think they can squeeze out a few cups and get deep in the Champions League and probably get top 4 again this season as well. But all of a sudden, Chelsea have got into the position where all of a sudden they're making money doing it with this sort of business model that seems to have stumbled across in their legal loopholes. And
they very early spent big, and I was looking at that figure going, this is not going to end well. But they are now only around 24 million pounds deep in, maybe 30 something odd $million.
Yeah,
they're not in the hole very deep.
And they've got a whole bunch of backs, so they've got a whole roster of players. I think there's like 7 or 8 players that they can sort of like sell, and I'm sure their business, their boardroom is going frantic at the moment with all the deals.
38.5 million in the hole right now. That's not bad.
Negative spend.
That's a negative, but that's not a bad negative.
You sell Jackson for $50 million.
You sell Jackson, and all of a sudden you're in the black. Good. I mean, why not?
And they've still got Sterling on the books. They've still got a bunch of these young kids as well who aren't going to make it through, and they're going to flip on and make some money on them as well. So Chelsea, all of a sudden, like they've suddenly turned it around, and obviously having done what they've done last season with the two cups, world champions and Champions League football, it's looking good. But yeah, I think so. Chelsea will be up there. I don't think they'll win it. Any other
trivia question? What are the 2 teams that lifted 2 trophies last year?
It was in the Premier League. Would it have been Chelsea and well, it wasn't Liverpool because they only lifted 1. Wasn't Spurs. Was it? Is it going to be Crystal Palace because he counting the Charity Shield?
You better believe
there
it.
We go. Yeah, there we go. Are we counting the Charity Shield? Does that count as a trophy, or is that just a sort of friendly with a bit of silverware at the end?
It is hardware, and when you have no hardware, all hardware is good hardware.
Look at us, Palace and Chelsea fans aligning and coming out. Look at all the silverware amongst the teams.
The only thing we're aligned on right now, but that's okay.
Indeed. Okay, so just pushing on through any other notable mentions. I will. By the way, I will say one other thing. Just before we sort of do move on as well, we were talking about Mbomo, the Liverpool wonder kid as well, who seems to have come on. Arsenal, Max Dowman, this 15-year-old. Do you see this making his debut? Did you see? I think is he 15 years old, or is he still about there? Yeah.
One. No, I missed that one.
Max Dowman for Arsenal. He came on their last game and sort of did that. And then you've got this Estevao, 18-year-old. Suddenly there's this like crop of like young next blood, new generation coming through and coming on and sort of making it 15 years old, 16 years old, playing in the Premier League, scoring and actually sort of getting headlines as well. It's fantastic to see. It really, really is. Okay, Everton looking good, new stadium. Jack Grealish looked like him there. Jack Grealish looks like one of those players. Yeah.
And can I just say, I hope for Jack Grealish's and his Cavs' sake that he is successful, because I found him to be such a disappointment in the last 2 years. He just was never getting any time. He seemed to have become a bit too obsessed with his own image and all of a sudden he's back at Everton and he really delivered. I mean, those 2 assists, he's good. If he finds a nice fit there, Good for him. Kudos.
Yeah, and Everton will benefit for it as well. He strikes me as one of those players, though, where he's better when he's the main man and he's the biggest star and he's the biggest fish in the pond versus when he's at Man City and he's around all these other sort of comparable players. He just sort of doesn't shine as bright. So, yeah, no, it was really good to see Jack Grealish play there. Forest sort of doing foresty things. You know, there's rumors going around that Nuno Esperantos is going to be canned and sort of going to be looking for a new job. Remember, there was that tussle last season. Remember that tussle last season with their owner who came onto the pitch? You remember that?
Very much so. And might I say that nobody in their right mind goes up against a man of Marinakis' size without having at least two people behind him to flank the guy. If you had asked me 2 weeks ago who was the first manager to be under a cloud in the Premier League, I would not have picked him. He would not even have been in my top 10 out of 20.
But I don't think he's under a cloud because it's
such a no. But it's a random.
It's not performance. Yeah, it's not performance related though.
No,
this is kind of like this is
a personal thing. This is a personal beef that's just like this is a personality clash and
it's festered and sort of hasn't had enough sunlight and been washed out and figured out and it's just festered over the summer. And
Nuno's stubborn. Yeah. He's a stubborn oaf sometimes, and that doesn't always help when you're dealing with billionaire owners with large personalities.
Yeah, who don't like to be told no and they're wrong. Yes, yeah,
exactly.
Don't like to be told they're wrong. Okay, so I think obviously we've got to go. First manager to get the sack this season is going to be Amorim. Obviously, it has to be. There's no one else here because
if we're going purely by performance based, it's going to be. But I got to tell you, Graham Potter's doing a hell of a fine job of taking away his crown.
Wow. What happened to West Ham? They had David Moyes, who was doing so well. They had the silverware, and then they just didn't get the contract, and then they got rid of him, and then Potter comes in, and look, he did wonderful things.
No, they had Lopetegui in that little interim, who lasted 20 games and won more games than Graham Potter in 20 games, and they canned him, and Potter's getting listen. That club is in trouble. That club is in trouble, and if something doesn't happen soon, I mean, even with the manager bouncing or manager change, I don't know. I don't see him. I just don't see him doing anything much.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a toss up between Potter or Amorim are the first to get fired because of performance. And again, West Ham seems like I think Kudus, who they had, was really, really good and strong as well. And I was watching some analysis of it. I was watching some analysis on YouTube of one of these influencers, and they were saying how they don't seem to have any pace or strength in their team. It just and that really looked good. Yeah, or heart, or just and they just rolled over for Chelsea, and it just made it too easy, right? That was more of a
that was the most abysmal game I ever watched.
Well, if you're a West Ham fan, as a Chelsea fan, it was wonderful to see.
No, as a neutral, it sucked.
Yes, it did.
No, I'm sorry. As a neutral, it sucked. I mean, I like goals and everything, but like that, no.
Yeah, they were spread out.
Give me a little drama, please.
Okay, so we're coming up on time as this new format that we have where we're trying to keep these under 30 minutes. Predictions, projections. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going down this season?
Well, I still think, I got to say Liverpool are still my favorite to win the league. I've got to go with that. With the additional firepower they put in, they're going to get everything right on the back end. I hate to say it, but they're probably going to make a big play for Guéhi out of Crystal Palace, which is going to gut them. But Guéhi in that back line, it would give them a tremendous amount of Guéhi and Van Dijk. Please. What a great combination that would be. And so I don't want it to happen. I think it will happen. I think Liverpool win the league.
I agree with you. I think Arsenal comes second. I think we've been brainwashed too much at Hooligan Soccer, haven't we? Because we're just saying the same things and repeating the same things. It's getting a little bit tiresome. But I agree with you. Okay. Going down, who do you think is going to go down? We'll have to timestamp
West Ham. I think it's West Ham's time. I think they're going down. I hate to say it. No, I really do. I think I was predicting that even before I watched them play. I think they weren't strong. I think Burnley's going back down again.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't have a third. Leeds is in that list. And to be fair, all of the newly promoted teams can be in that group because it's so hard to stay up, right? I think Sunderland did better business. Mm-hmm. I think Sunderland got better signings. I think they're going to be able to. I think they've got the grit and the tenacity to stay up. So I think they'll survive. It could be Leeds. God, it could be, but it could be so many others. What about you, G?
No.
Well, I've finalized my third. You take over.
Here's my big prediction. Man U go down this season. Man U are going down this season.
Oh,
Yes,
you're
yes.
giving me ooze on West Ham? Wow.
Man U are going down.
They spent $300 million and they're going down?
Who did they sign? I feel like they only signed like two players, didn't they? They signed Mbeumo. They signed Mbeumo, and then who was the other player they signed as well?
He's been wonderful for them.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering they're still sort of sitting there on 1 point and managed to scrape through as well. Yeah, okay, great.
Cunha struck the post. Cunha struck the post twice in the opening 2 minutes.
Oh, he hit the post twice. Well done. Oh, that'll save United in their season.
I'm just saying, but at a certain point, if he keeps playing with that spark, he'll get some in.
Well,
those are the only three big signings they had: Sesko, and Mbeumo, and Cunha. But that was a combined £210 million.
Yeah, and I don't think
a lot of money.
That I think there is a greater cultural problem at United for whatever reason. It just every single player that goes there becomes horrifically shit, and then they leave and they become amazing, and then they go back, or they just look at all the players. They're basically the players where careers go to die. They still got Casemiro running around on $300,000 a week, and it's they're playing Mason Mount. They've got. I mean, Rasmus Højlund, I don't understand how
he's
that
gone.
guy.
Højlund's gone.
Where is he? He's gone to? Or there's rumors, or he's about to go somewhere. I saw that.
No, he went somewhere. He's pretty sure he went somewhere in Italy. And if it's not formally done, it's
Napoli. He's going to Napoli. That's it. He's going to go and play with McTominay and De Bruyne in Napoli. That's where he's going. Watch him. He will go to Napoli and become great again as well. And this is what happens. And then the other thing I saw is Bruno Fernandes. Apparently, sort of some of the Saudi teams are kicking in. They're going to offer $100 million for him. That's too tempting not to take. You take that deal if you're United.
You have to take it, especially the way he's just been. His and everything about him right now. I mean, I think he and Ronaldo have been hanging out too much in the summer because he's got Ronaldo level petulance without the skill.
Yeah, well, he is their best player. I think he is definitely and has been their best player for a couple of seasons. He is a very good player.
Kick he took.
Well, that was I think it was him saying, I think it's time for me to go and take the money.
I think he was aiming for the camera. Way up there.
He was.
Then trying to blame the referee. Because the referee bumped him.
Because he nudged him as well. I mean, it's not a golf match, is it? Yeah, it's not a golf shot as well. It's gonna happen all the time. I agree with you. I think West Ham will make a change and they'll have to spend some money. I don't think they're going to want to spend, and I think West Ham, if they carry on like this, they're in real trouble. The only reason Man United didn't go down is because they had three sort of worst teams below them, and I think this season, this start that they've got off to, they are looking shaky. I think United go down. I think West Ham go down, and I agree with you. I think Burnley, Leeds have got that Red Bull infrastructure sort of behind them as well, and I think they're sort of structured to sort of survive. Sunderland already off the market, as you say, looking good. So yeah, I'm going to go West Ham, Burnley, Man United, and that will be that.
Now I remember who my third was.
Bournemouth. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they had a surprising win last week. I mean, and if they get two more of these like surprising wins, they're going to be in good shape. But Bournemouth got absolutely plundered.
Yeah.
They were the medieval monastery to the world's Vikings, just coming in and stripping all the cherries off the tree.
Chest of treasure. Gone. Yeah, just a chest of treasure as well. And Chelsea have just come in and asses.
There's nothing but twigs left on the Bournemouth tree. Okay.
It's all over at Chelsea now, isn't it? Right? It's sorry, not Bournemouth, that's Brighton. Yeah. No, Bournemouth, they are, but
they are a strong candidate. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but they're a candidate to be relegated. But then again, Bournemouth they've got a certain resilience to it. They've been in the Premier League enough. They've had a taste of all the pleasures. They have a stadium expansion plan in the works. So they're going to drive and they're going to fight, but don't be surprised to see them way down there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Well, Qooligan, that brings us up on time. I think we've got some interesting games that are coming thick and fast, obviously, which is exciting. Premier League is there. We are going to be breaking out this show as just to sort of clarify that we're going to be doing one episode dedicated to the Premier League, one to the MLS, and then obviously we'll be breaking it down to the Champions League to make it more digestible.
Yeah, we'll have Champions League 1 and all the great tournaments too. Yeah.
Fun games. So as always, Hooligan-Soccer. Come and check out the musings and the ramblings of both of us, plus all the guests in the network and the partnership and all those wonderful things. Qooligan, exciting stuff. So good to be back.
Nice to have you back, G.
Thank you very much. Enjoy. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Peace.